Welcome to episode 1 of Curb Talk, where we're going to get into the story behind the talent. Today we're posted up in Midlands with Birmingham's finest, the voice of the streets, Mitch.
My bro.
Talk to me, man. How you doing?
I'm good, I'm good, my bro, man. How are you?
I'm good. All right, so let's start here. Let's start in Birmingham.
Yeah.
Talk about its influence on you as a person and as an artist.
I'd say as a person first, innit, and then go to artist after. Because I'm a person before my artist, you get me? So I'd say like my influence was like growing up around like in Birmingham. When I was growing up anyway, it's a lot of the Jamaican culture, yardies, and like before the African thing came in, you get me? It was more yardies and bashment music and stuff like that. My mum used to listen to bashment music and that. And even soul, like old school R&B and stuff like that. I'd say that's what was my first like influences of music and things like that. And not even to say that was gonna make me a musician, but that made me the person who I am. Do you know what I mean? Before I even thought about doing music, listening to that type of music made me feel like my culture. You get me?
Yeah. And now that you are an artist, how important do you feel it is to like represent as you get bigger? Some people can get bigger than where they came from, but in your music, a lot of the time you're always drawing back to your upbringing out here. So how important is it to represent Birmingham to you?
I think it's a big thing. I think it's a big thing for me anyway. Obviously, I can't speak for every artist, but for me, I like always try to go back to where I've come from or big up where I've come from. Even if I'm not in the streets no more, do you know what I mean? I'm still the voice of the streets. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I'm still heard. And that was my point anyway. I'd rather be heard than seen, if you get where I'm coming from. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So in my music, I just try and make sure I hit certain points where I'm coming from, streets that I grew up on, places where the people can relate, my people can relate to. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Like growing up and growing in music, like were there any artists from here that kind of influenced you in terms of your music? Or
like when I was growing up, there was like rap groups here, like MB7 they're called, and like Slash, and like who else? Blood Brothers and things like that. They're different like older rap groups, to get me. Like I used to listen to them. I used to have MP3s of them on my phone and things like that when I was a youth. And then not even just them, like MCs, Brasco, Vader, Grime. Do you know what I mean? Like all of that influenced me, man. I used to listen to all of it.
Yeah. What are like kind of the people that have helped you along your journey in terms of like people giving you studio time, putting you on, maybe playing your stuff on the radio?
So not a lot of people. Like obviously, when you get bigger, you get more people help you out. So like growing up, there was a guy called Hatman, named Mark. Yeah, there was a shop in Birmingham city centre called Hatman. They used to sell all the hats and all the gloves and all the American stuff. And there was a guy who used to work in there, and he took me and my brethren to the studio for the first time as youths and made us make CDs and that. Like we used to rap studio time and make CDs, and we'd have our own CDs and stuff like that. You get me? He influenced, man. He helped man out as youths, free studio time. He used to pick man up from our house, and take us studio. I'll never forget that. You get me? I had an older cousin that used to sit me down sometimes and like make me write bars. Like he would treat it more like an English class. Do you know what I mean? Like make me write out what I'm thinking. Do you get me? I'd say I remember them kind of things. They influenced me. And then getting bigger, just like DJs have helped me out. Snoochie Shy has been a big help for me in my career. To get me, Kenny All-Star, few people, DJ Target. You know, like the big DJs, man, they've helped me still. Like when they've got things in Birmingham, I'm the first on the list. They got me on the BET thing, MTV. Do you get me? Like put my name down first. Do you know what I mean? So them kind of things make me. Sometimes when you're thinking you're underrated or you're not as big as you should be, but then people like that are putting you first, kind of shows you that you're established in a way. Do you know what I mean?
And now that you are established, coming around full circle, how important do you think it is to put on for the next generation? Because now, like, the way the scene is, it kind of feels like it's not every man for himself, but everyone's kind of independent now. They're kind of coming away from the line.
You're right. To that question, that's a good question, you know. And I would say to you, yeah, bro, that it's hard, you know. Like, it's not as easy putting on for the next generation as an outsider might think. You get me? And that's just me being real, yeah. Like, some of these youths are ungrateful, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just keeping it 100. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I've tried to help some of these guys, and I've got them in the studio for free. I've got them beats for free, and it's like the generation underneath me is spoiled a little bit. Obviously, there's gonna be good youths of all generation and mature kids of all generations. So I'm not talking about the whole generation. But personally, me, I've tried a lot and been burnt a lot. So then that makes people like me just think, you know what? Just help yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Help who you can and who will help you. But a lot of the times when you put in that olive branch out, people just snap it. Do you know what I mean, bro?
Yeah, do you think that's because of like how kind of socials have boomed and how like now you can kind of make a hit just by blowing up on TikTok, so now people feel like they don't need...
Yeah, exactly that. I think it's that. Social media and stuff like that, people just see the checks and the money, and people forget about the relationships. Do you know what I mean? Like, not a lot of people cherish having the relationship. They'll rather just cherish the check. You know what I mean? Where there's got to be a balance. Obviously, we've all got families to feed, but there's got to be a balance, bro. Like, the relationships are what got us here. Do you know what I mean? Not every bridge can burn. Like, you're going to end up a lonely man, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you're going to end up on your own. But I think that a lot of these youths don't realise that until they're on their own and no one's helping them no more.
Yeah, it feels like in recent years, everyone's been blowing. Like, there's higher peaks, but in terms of, like, compared to the artists that are from, like, older generations, no one really has the same staying power. Yeah. So how important, like, how do you navigate getting the hits out versus having longevity and staying in the game and like being a presence in the game rather than just having one song blow and being gone 2 years later?
I think that's a good question as well, yeah. And I think, like, I think you can navigate it, yeah, but I think you only can navigate it when you're at a point in your career. So I believe, yeah, that I'm always gonna have longevity in me. Anyone else can disagree, but I've been doing this thing for a while, and they still want to listen to me. But I believe my longevity is because of who I am, and the people are always gonna hear what I've got to say because it's the truth. I'm from the curb. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, I've got to a point where I've done more commercial songs and I've linked up with bigger people, but because of where I come from, people are always going to want to push me. Like, the real people are always going to want to listen to me and push me. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I think that it's different for every artist because it depends how you blow. If you blow on this new TikTok trend and stuff like that, you might be hot today. I've seen it. You know what I mean? Like, you might be hot today and then not hot tomorrow. Like, but if you come up gradually, you come up a bit harder, do you know what I mean? Like, and you don't put yourself out there as much, like this TikTok thing, every minute you've got to be out there. I reckon if you slow it down a little bit, I come from the school of, like, take your time with it, do you know what I mean? Make sure it's right, don't just be forcing the music out. Make sure the music's right, do you know what I mean?
Quality over quantity.
Yeah, man, that's the school that I come from. That's the rule that I stick to. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think nowadays I hear a lot of songs and people going crazy over them, and I don't think they're bangers, bro.
Yeah, it feels like when everything kind of washes into like one thing because it's like it's oversaturated. People are hopping on trends,
yeah, man,
and
like, everything
starts to sound the same. So that's why people like you stand out.
Yeah, exactly that. Like, I try to keep it that way anyway. Like, and don't get twisted. I suffer from it, you know. Like, in the wide scale of things, I do suffer from being quiet for 6 months and then trying to drop 2 bangers where someone's not quiet for a month and they drop 10 bangers. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the formula makes more money.
Yeah. But then who's going to be around longer than you?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
yeah. So it's kind of like sell the person rather than selling.
Yeah, man. Just make it. Obviously, everyone's different. I'm a more of an introverted person, bro. Do you know what I mean? So my music and the way I am on social media and stuff, it's going to come across the same. I don't snap every single day. I don't snap everything I do. Because I'm not like that as a person. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm not an outward person that wants to show everyone every corner of my life. Do you get what I mean, bro?
Yeah. So from what I'm getting from it, it's kind of like a lot of people now have it backwards where they're selling themselves online before they make the heat in the studio, rather than building yourself up as an artist.
Bang on, bro. You got it bang on. Like now, I haven't dropped a tune since last summer, but I've done a freestyle, the Voice of the Streets, Christmas times, New Year. So like, people will be like, oh, where's Mitch? But I've got 30 bangers sitting there, like, bangers. Do you know what I mean? So, to me, I'm happy. You don't need to know I've got 30 bangers. When it comes out and you see the press release or you see it all coming out, then you'll know, okay, it was working. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But some people, it's social media though, isn't it?
Is it ever hard to stay, I don't know, like, obviously as an artist, you gotta have a bit of an ego. So when you're seeing people that you know, like, they're getting bangers and you know you're better than them, and you're like, I'm sitting on this, I'm trying to be patient, I'm trying to be calculated, but you're thinking maybe like, because people are like, oh, maybe he fell off, blah, blah, all that talk. How do you stay focused and stay on your timing?
I guess that's another thing that comes down to the person that you are. And I've had the highs, the big labels knocking at my door, and then I've had the lows where I'm struggling to get my piece together for a music video. So now, it's like, is it gratitude?
Yeah, it brings that perspective.
Yeah, like I'm just grateful that I'm Mitch. I'm happy to be me. You're you. Everybody's gonna have you know what I mean? Nobody can be me. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So like, yeah, man, like you just gotta take what you get and be grateful. Do you know what I mean? Like this thing, man, come from the curbs, bro. This thing was a promise for none of us. Do you know what I mean? Like if I can pay my bills, pay my rent from music, and I'm not outside doing madness, bro, where I came from, then what have I got to be upset about really in this life? Do you know what I mean? Unless I'm a greedy guy that sees artists getting money and I feel like, oh, that should be me. I've had money off labels. I've had it too. Do you know what I mean? Everybody gets their time, bro. Yeah. That's how I see it anyway. Everybody else is different. Do you know what I mean? I don't hate on next. Like sometimes I'll say someone drops a tune and I'll talk about it to one of my friends. But obviously I'm an artist, so it's different. But like, you know, you got your music friends, like you'll send them a tune like, yo, you heard this? And the next man will be like, oh, my man's dead, or I'm not really like that. Like, I'll give a man his due where his dues, even if it's not my brethren, even if he's from the next side of Brom, I'll always give a man his dues. Like, nah, that's not dead. It's actually decent, or yeah, you're right. You know what I mean? Like,
you just love the game.
Yeah, man, it's the game, bro. It's the game, bro. Like, you can't hate you get me? You can't hate the player, bro.
Yeah, we all love music, so you just gotta.
It's music, yeah. At the end of the day, bro.
Alright, man. But let's go back in time a bit because you're at a better place now. But back, like you've spoken a lot about in your music and outside of your music about your time inside and kind of like battling that with your career and stuff. So, talk to me like when like a lot of your music blew whilst you were inside. So how was your mindset where you were like, all right, let me stay active versus some artists that might think like I'm down, like let me wait, but you decided to keep active and keep pushing. So
it was hard, you know, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like going back, thinking about it, like I was in a like you know, hindsight is a beautiful thing. Like being able to look back, to get me. But I remember being in jail and being big. Like I dropped 2 tunes and they was big. So I remember walking around the wings and the landings, and people are like, yo Mitch. But these times, the scene's blowing up outside, like, I'm supposed to be one of the guys that are getting signed right now, but I'm only hood famous, if you get what I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I remember, like, being in a dark place, bro, like, I'm there, but I'm not there. And I know I'm supposed to be there. Like, I'm in jail and I've got phone and DJs and everybody are telling me, like, bro, when are you coming out? Like, when are you coming out? Like, and I've got 2 years left, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not nice. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
yeah, like you get in your head and you think maybe I've missed my moment.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. I thought I missed I've got a whole 2 summers to go. Like, I'm thinking I've missed my moment times 2. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm never gonna get it back, bro. Like, I've literally messed up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even like people using that against you and stuff, like, you know, like associates and friends and people around you and that, like, know that you're supposed to be the next big thing, you know, because they're on road. Do you know what I mean? But you're in this cooped up place, so people are dealing with you a certain type of way because you're not free. You ain't got your freedom. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But for me, bro, I just, like, prayed, bro, kept my sanity, I never sold out, bro, I'm in jail, bro, where bare man are taking drugs and bare man are smoking mad things and doing mad things to pass the time, bro. I never done none of that, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just kept it real, bro, and it came out, man.
Do you feel like you learned a lot about yourself?
1,000,000%, bro. In jail, all you got is your trainers, bro, and your clothes and your name. You have to know who you are. You have to know why I'm different from you. Why I'm different from my next door. Because we ain't got no cars or no houses or no girls to show why I'm different from you. It's just me and you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in jail, 1,000,000% is where a lot of people take it differently, though. You know, this is just me talking for me. Do you know what I mean? A lot of next man don't see it like that. Or they don't, it's a place where you can easily lose. Now, I wouldn't even say lose your mind, bro, but just lose who you are. Do you get me, bro? Like, start doing things to pass the time and start acting out of character. Do you get me, bro? And then obviously you're in them places for a long time, bro, so you'll lose your character.
Yeah. And then coming out, obviously, for every artist, that for a lot of artists that go inside, that's kind of like the peak where everyone's anticipating that fresh home, that fresh out track. Yeah. So when you drop that, when it gets the traction that it did, how do you capitalize on that and keep it pushing, use that momentum?
So with me, a thing that I would like to tell the youths as well, when I was blowing, nobody ever sat me down. A few people said things to me, but like out the side of their mouth, you get me? Like, oh yeah, you're doing good. Or like, at the time, I had a friend that was a big rapper, you get me? He was bigger than me. And, like, he knew the game, I didn't know the game, you get me? He didn't say to me, he didn't sit me down and make me know, you're gonna go, do you get me? But he'll say things to me like, you're where I was 2 years ago.
Yes.
But out the side of his mouth, do you get me? So then I would go home and think, if I'm where you was 2 years ago, that means I'm big. But no one would sit me down and say to me, yo, pause what you're doing. Forget that. You're gonna blow. Do you get what I'm trying to say to you, bro? So, and I don't know if that's our culture, our community, the black community, where, like, you need someone in your circle that is gonna tell you, yo, big man, you know you're next up in it. Like, I'm not in what you're in, but I can see. One more tune, you're gone. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Just to make you actually know what's going on. So basically, I'm trying to say is that when I was about to go, I didn't even know I didn't know.
So when did it click for you then? Because obviously you had a few hits coming out, like Money Mitch 2, Fresh Hole.
After Money Mitch 2, I got signed. That's when it clicked for me. That even in the room, you know, when the man was trying to sign me, you know, remember I'm come from the streets, bro. I've just come out of prison. I just done 3.5, 4 years I just done when I came out and I went into that room to get signed, you know, bro. So even when the guy was telling me, I want to sign you, I couldn't understand what he was saying. Do you know what I mean? My brethren next to me had to say, yo, you know he's just signed your tape. I'm like, what? For real? Like, because he's talking out the side of his mouth. You know what I mean? He's not talking directly to me. He's just saying things to me like, yeah, you're hard, and all that record label like spiel. You get me? Like, yeah, yo, you're the coldest, and we want to work with you. And so I'm like, what does that mean? You want to work with me, bro? Like, what does that mean, bro? Talk to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, man. So basically, check your email later. That's what he said to me. So then I'm like in the room, like, and my brother's like, bro, you've been signed. You get me? And I'm like, okay then, come then, let's go. Do you get me? Like, I've done it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That was when I knew that I've done it.
And that feeling, obviously, that you've been thinking of the whole time you're inside, thinking like at the end of the tunnel. Once you get that, does that put a battery in your back and you're thinking for those next few tracks, or is it kind of same energy?
Yeah, nah. I had the battery, man. I had the battery after. Even still though, bro, I'm just keeping it real with you, yeah. Even still when I was signed though, yeah, it's like a mad thing about life, yeah. Like, you never know you're going through something until you've gone through it, innit, and then you look back in it. So like, even when I was signed and stuff, you know, and I had a lot of things going on and I was busy and I had money and all of these things was going on. Now that I can look back at it, I didn't really know what position I didn't know how much power I held at that time. You know what I'm trying to say?
So what now that you've kind of gone through it and learned, like, what would you tell yourself at the time when you're coming out and you don't know?
I would have told myself to slow down a bit, like take in the moments more. And that's it really. Just because obviously now I'm a bit more mature now, do you know what I mean? So like I know, like, in moments, it's not about money and that, it's more about in the moment, you get me? So I would have just told myself like, yo, take it in a bit more, man. Like, you've done it, like you've done a big thing from where you come from. Do you know what I mean? It's not just normal. You know, sometimes people like to make you think that things are just normal. When sometimes you're allowed to take a time out and be like, no way, I've done it. Do you know what I'm trying to say, bro?
Yeah, like, sniff the roses.
Yeah, man. Like, be giving you flowers, but what it is in our community, again, people don't give you your flowers.
There's a lot of haters out here, man.
People don't give you your flowers, so sometimes you'll miss the moment. You get what I'm trying to say? Even your own brother, bro, it could be your own cousin, bro. Like, you could go to your own brother and say, yo, you know I just got signed, or you know I just done a big thing. And they'll be like, yes, well now, that's not.
People are too cool out here.
In another community, you go back to your uncle and tell him that he's getting all the cars out. You get what I'm trying to say? Like,
but also I've heard like from artists and athletes where they never get the same love from their own. It might not even like just black people or community, but just where you're from. And artists never blows in their city. They have to go on tour. That's when they get the most love. Because they only see you as who they grew up around. You know what I mean? They can't separate
see you as someone different.
Yeah, they can't separate you from the brand.
You know, 1,000,000% you're right. That's a big one there, you're right. People that I went to school with and that can't separate Kwame as Mitch. I think it even spooks some people out. Like, there'll be girls that I went to school with. I grew up with them from this big, bro. Yeah. And I'm like, you alright? Like, and then, you know, people just act funny with you. Like, oh, like, I don't know how to act. I don't even know how to deal with you now. Like, I'm like, what you on about, bro? I'm the same guy who went to school together, bro. Deal with me how without me in school. Do you know what I mean? Like,
that's bro that was running for the bus.
Serious, bro. Normal to get me, bro. They people act funny now. Like, I've literally had people that I grew up with say to me, I don't know how to deal with you now. Like, can I just be normal? Am I supposed to act like you're famous? Yeah. Like, I'm like, It's a bit mad, you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
But let's break that down. Like, who is Mitch? Like, firstly, what is the inspiration behind the name Mitch?
I guess the inspiration behind the name is just like growing up, and like out of all my brethrens, like obviously there's a film called Paid in Full, you get me? So I think they said that I look like the actor, and I acted like the actor growing up, like being a hustler and mover and a shaker, and do you get me at the time, and it just stopped, bro. And then when I decided to rap, I just swore I'm using that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And then who's Mitch the artist? Like, what would you describe yourself as? Like, 'cause obviously you're lyrical, but obviously you dabble in rap and drill. So what if someone's asking like, who's Mitch as an artist?
I don't think there's a bracket. There's no bracket. I've done auto-tune, rap, drill. There's no bracket for me. I could do funky house, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no bracket for my artistry. No way.
Yeah. Do you have any inspirations outside of rap that like kind of influence your music, both like maybe growing up and even now?
Like singers, artists.
Yeah,
loads, man. Like Bashment artists, like Vibes Movado, Vibes Cartel, all of that. R&B, like Biggie, Tupac, you know, like all of that. Like I go back to that. I can go back to that. You know what I'm trying to say? Like when I was in jail, that's all I used to listen to, stuff like that.
Yeah. Who's the artist in your playlist right now that no one would think like you'd ever bump? Like maybe even outside of rap, that you like no one would think this is in Mitch's playlist.
Brandy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, R&B singer. I listen to Brandy. Old school Brandy.
But I listen to old school as well.
yeah.
I know I'm young, but
yeah. Nah, man, you gotta keep that soul in there. You get me?
It's a vibe, bro.
Man, 1,000,000%, man.
Yeah. So how do you now stay true to your roots versus evolving? Because as you get older, you learn new things, but you want to stay to the roots without obviously staying. You want to take the good with the bad and kind of evolve with it.
I guess they say and I think this is a big one, like you can't know who you are unless you've been through stuff. You know what I mean? So you can't get to the top without going through the bottom, the middle, and just going through it. Do you get me? So I'd say going through my journey as Mitch has made me understand more about myself. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And like made me more, what's the word I'm looking for? And I can't think of the word that I'm looking for here, but like when I first started, it was more like, more about the gas, like the hype, the excitement and stuff. But then going through it, I've started to realize like, I don't want my fans to push me for all of that excitement stuff. Like, I want my fans to be around for a long time than a short time. Do you get me? So like I've seen other rappers like Gigs and that, like I follow people like Gigs and stuff, like you don't really see them big man showing off or moving like they're excited to be rappers or anything like that. Like they're dads and that, you know what I mean? You see Gigs rolling around with his kids and his dog, but his fans still support what he does because that's Gigs, innit? So I want to be me. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I have my own narrative, basically. Don't want to follow no next guys or be like what any next guys do. And then I won't be Mitch then, innit?
Yeah, with that though, obviously, this is rap, this is hip hop. Beefs and diss tracks, all of that is part of the game. All the greats have done it. Yeah. Kind of like, where are you at with the different people that you've had diss tracks or things towards in the past?
So, like obviously, bro, social media and stuff is a fickle place, isn't it?
Yeah.
So some of the fans see stuff and blow it out of proportion.
Oh, to this day, man, doing my research, looking through your freestyles, everything. There's something in everywhere. People,
bro, some of the comments, bro, even I have to read them.
Bro, it's like English teachers, the way they be going through every lyric.
You get it? Like,
yeah.
Bro, even some of the comments, I read them myself and I think, Fucking hell.
Like, right, did I say it? I didn't even mean that.
Yeah. No, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it, you know, bro. Even some of my close friends, you know, like I'll say a bar about something, and the man will be like, "Are you dissing my man?" And I'm like, "No, like, bro, are you listen to it, bro? Listen to the music. You get it? Like, say if I said something like something simple, yeah, like I was in Peckham, but I'm not Gigs." Some fickle person will say, "You dissed Gigs? No way, you dissed Gigs, bro."
Nah, their eyes light up when they hear it.
Come
when
on,
they hear
man,
the
like,
a name.
come on, my bro, man. You get it? Like, not everything is a. You know what else though? Put that to aside, yeah. Because I have dissed certain people.
Oh yeah, there's some explicit ones.
Yeah. Don't get it twisted, yeah. Like,
yeah.
I have dissed certain man, yeah. But one thing that I want to say, yeah. You know when certain man get dissed, yeah. I've been dissed before. You never ever see me go on my social media and say, "Oh, he dissed me."
It's part of the game.
You just hold it. If the fans hear it and they clock onto it, then that's it. But I don't understand why man do that. Oh, hands in the air. He was dissing me. Like, I don't get that. I don't understand that. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you get this, you get this, bro. Hold it this back, bro. Like, if the fans clock onto it, they clock onto it. Why man putting their hands up and he was talking about me at this bar, this time. Do you know what I mean? I don't get that, bro. I don't get all of that.
Now, as a fan, like you want them back and forths. As long as it stays in the music, like you want that, because that's when a lot of artists bring out their best heat. When you have them weeks where people are going back and forth within 3 days, dropping something, you had like Stormzy and Whitey back and forth.
Yeah, man. Obviously,
like, we live for those.
1,000,000%, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's all part of the game, innit? It's all a part of the game. Don't get twisted. Not a lot of, because obviously there's a few, like 2 people that musically will give each other jabs and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But if you deep it, bro, like, there's never been no run-ins or nothing like that. Like, they're outside as much as I'm outside, and if it was that stuff, you would have seen us all on gossip pages running into each other. And yeah, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man, people. Like, let's be real. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, Birmingham's a small place, bro. Yeah. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, a lot of it is just music. Don't get twisted. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, some people don't get along with some people. That's natural. Where we come from the ghetto. You get it? Yeah. But, like, a lot of it is just music.
But yeah, with music, though, obviously, anyone listen to this, they want to hear you set the record straight with a couple of them. So give me something. Give me some names, like where there's stuff that maybe was misinterpreted or that you'd want to set straight with a specific artist.
So I'd say, like, the thing with me and Stardom, like, he's from my ends, like, we're from the same block, you get me? So it's just like, he's talented, I'm talented. It was kind of a little shade where, like, he didn't want to boss me, I didn't want to boss him. Do you get me? So, like, there was little disses made in music and things like that, but it's not no road thing or nothing like that. It's just the fans have just blew all out of proportion, and you know what I mean? Like, my man's talented, I'm talented, growing up. You know what I mean? We was boys and that, like, you know what I mean? Like, but it's not nothing more than music, bro. I'll be honest with you. And anyone else, other than him, they're probably from the other side of town, bro. We just don't see eye to eye like they, you know what I mean, like that. But other than that, bro, you know?
It's the rap game, man.
Yeah, man,
this isn't just
like, these things get blown out of proportion. Like, people hear things, or there's rumors and stuff, like, do you know what I mean? Like, the fans just blow bare things out of proportion, bro. Like,
alright, man. Let's balance it with some positive then. So, who would you say firstly is the hardest in Brum? It could be a young person, it could be unknown person that's hardest in Brum right now outside of yourself.
Oh, can't say me.
Yeah, not you. That's a given. You feel me? We got Birmingham's finest, but hardest in Brum, and then hardest just in the UK scene that people don't know like that.
The hardest in Brum that people don't know.
I mean, it could be someone that's known, but as like a fan.
After me.
Yeah, just as a fan.
I'd say KB. Obviously not after me, but beside me to the side. I'd say KB.
Okay.
You know KB? You heard of him?
A little bit.
Yeah.
And then what about in the UK in general?
UK in general, Nines.
Yeah, you popping, yeah.
My Nines is the hardest in the UK, I think.
Yeah, and then put on like an underrated. Who's underrated to you?
In the UK?
Or Brum, either.
I think everyone in Brum's underrated, man. I think we should be up there with the big boys, do you know what I mean? Lyrically. But I'd say in the UK, who's underrated? Who's underrated in the UK? Scraps. He should be bigger.
Man, if you listen to this, make sure you put on some Scraps.
Yeah, nah,
give us a track. You got a track or a project that people should listen to?
Me?
Scraps.
Oh, from Scraps.
Yeah.
That 80s Baby mixtape, innit?
Okay. All right. So with that, obviously, we're talking about underrated and just the UK scene in general. We already spoke about hopping on viral trends and stuff, but on the numbers side, how do you evaluate like what's a right deal, what's a like good money but might not be best for you long term for your image, or how do you decide this is the right deal for Mitch?
I think it's personally and what point you're in at what position you're in life at the time. Like deals, you can take 2 deals, you can take 3 deals. This is what people don't know. People think you sign 1 deal and change your life. You know what I mean? Like you can sign that deal and then if you get out of that deal quick enough, you can find another deal. So don't just sign your life away. Do you know what I mean? Like keep them nice and short so you can always get out of them.
Yeah, do you think like artists are just a lot smarter about that now because of the horror stories of
Yeah,
360 deals and all of that?
%, like with time. I guess you're still gonna get the young ones that don't give a shit, bro, and they just want money in their pocket. You know what I mean? So they'll sign anything because there's still these things happening now. But the maturer artists have learned, and a lot of people are doing more independent and stuff and not selling their songs and shit like that, and just takes time in it, bro. The music thing takes time in it. You know what I mean? It's not, you can't rush it. You know what I mean? These labels, bro, they'll chew you up and spit you out. You know what I mean? So you just gotta be careful.
Yeah, and when it comes to like tracks, collabs and all that, obviously you got the people that you're cool with and you just put them on, but obviously a lot of artists will be like, I ain't doing nothing. Don't even talk to me if you ain't got 500k ready. Like, are you one of them? Do you have like a... Nah?
Obviously it depends. If you're working, if I see you working, if I think that you're good, then we can talk features, do you know what I mean? But then again, like, obviously we've all got bills to pay, bro. You know me, bro? Like, we've got bills to pay, bro, so... Yeah, man, obviously. It's a funny one, man. The feature things for being an artist, you know, but it's funny, bro. I've been lucky. Like, I done a tune with DEE last year. You get me? I grew up listening to him. Back Row G. These are big artists that could have asked me for money, do you know what I mean? But they didn't. They just done it off the back of they respected my thing, do you know what I mean? So I've been lucky where someone else won't get that lucky, do you know what I mean? So that's how I know that I'm established. Because I'm shouting these big artists for tunes and they're like, come, like, no money, no nothing, just linking up how we linked up today, you know, just natural. You know, like just raw, no security, no 20 niggas or nothing like that. Just real, do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's how I know people are following my journey and they can understand that I am a real you. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm. So circling back to what we were saying before about people putting a lot out but not really focusing on the quality, what would your message be to young artists that are trying to get that big feature? Would it be kind of stay away from trying to hunt hits and more focus on the quality so that artists like you can look at them and see?
Yeah, man. Put out bangers, man. Don't just rush it out. You know what it is, bro? Nowadays, what I'm not a part of, yeah, I take myself out of this, yeah, is this rushing things and trying to fake it until you make it. Save your money. If it takes a year, if it takes 18 months, I'm not saying you have to have some big massive video. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying so you can distribute right, so you look clean, your beats paid for, so it's quality. Do you get me? Like, put out quality. A lot of men are just thinking, let me just put out. when you do that 5 times, bro, and then I put something out once, my thing's gonna hit more than any 5 of them tunes that you put out. What are you doing to yourself, bro? You're drowning. You know what I mean? Like, you're just swimming in a big ocean. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. It doesn't make sense. Not to me. It might work for someone else. Don't get twisted. You might do it and one of them 5 might hit. But I've noticed with a lot of artists, especially nowadays, like, all this rushing it. But remember, the fans, the supporters are clued onto the scene now. They know that these big Lamborghinis, they're not our cars, bro. They're rentals, bro. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
yeah.
5 years ago, they probably didn't know that. They probably thought when you were standing outside the house on a car that it might be yours, you know what I mean? But now, come on, bro. They know that that's not yours, so it's more about the music in it and the quality, like, be easy on the ears. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
The more on the eyes. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Getting the love.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Save some money. Look at Central C, bro. Man, does videos in night tracksuits and that, but it's about what you hear. No, we're not watching him. Do you know what I mean? We're listening to him. That's music, isn't it?
Yeah, so what's your message to an artist that is maybe in a hole mentally, maybe where you were at, or financially, that's trying to get up?
I'd just say, just get in the studio, bro, with the people that you listen to the most, like your friends, close friends, people with good ears and stuff, and just try and make a banger, bro. Try and make them bangers, bro. Before you release one, my advice is, like, I've got friends now that are trying to become musicians, and the advice I give them is, before you go in the studio and make one song and think, let's get the video guy out, make 10. You get me? Make 10 songs, pick 1 from 10, and then go again. Like, then you've got 10 songs, you can go. You know what I mean? Get all the music down first, and then go.
Yeah, and then just with you as an artist, you got any? Obviously, you said you ain't dropped in a minute, so have you got any upcoming projects that you're working on?
Yeah, man, I got a mixtape that I'm working on now called Mitch Star. Do you get me? And I've got a few good features on there already. I'm working on a few more, and it's kind of finished, if I'm being honest, you know. But literally, I'm just waiting for the right time for me to release it. Like, I don't go off what everybody else is doing, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just waiting for me the right time when I think is good for me to start getting back out there and shooting videos and stuff. But I've got a tape there.
And what's the future for you, like, not just music wise, but have you got kind of, not an exit plan, but have you kind of got a plan to expand into other ventures, or are you just keeping it in the music right now?
Yeah, 1,000,000%, but obviously because I don't release like that anyway, I've still got a lot of music to give. I've still got a lot of things to say musically. Do you know what I mean? So I've got a tape there. Just like I was saying to you, I've got a tape there, but I'm working on a bonus tape. Yeah. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like,
so that when you come back, you
before I drop so when I drop one tape, I've got another tape there ready. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
So the fans gonna be eating when you come back out.
Yeah, man. Like, instead of all this, like I'm gonna give them a whole meal instead of drip. You get me? Like, I'm gonna take it back old school, man. Drop a tape, let them take that in, bonus tape, and just try and pattern up some videos and stuff. And do you know what I mean? I've still got a lot to say musically, though. I'm not exit plan, not yet, not for now.
Yeah, here to stay, man.
Yeah, nah, come on, bro, man. I'm here, man.
No passing the torch yet.
Nah, man, no way, man.
All right. Got a grip on Bram from the UK.
Yeah, man. Come on, bro, man. I ain't going nowhere for now. Like I told you, man.
Now with that, it's exciting to hear what you got going forward, and obviously it's been great to hear your story and talk to you. But I mean, what, you got anything else you want to say to the fans?
Literally just
what to expect?
Yeah, just literally, like, obviously I've been having a little break and that. You get me? Like, I'm a dad, so I've got other things, that priorities and that, you know what I mean? But I'm working, man, and I got some serious music there, man, some proper features, man, some people that, like, people have wanted to hear me rap with for time. You know what I mean? Like, when I first started my career, a few names and stuff, like, other rappers from London and stuff that people would want to hear me rap with. Like, I've got tunes with them coming on my next tape, and I've got stuff coming, man. I'm just taking my time out to make sure it's done properly and it's done cleanly. You get what I'm trying to say, my bro?
Yeah, man. Nah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, man. Instead of just rushing it and that and production and that, you know what I mean? Like it's on the ear now, man. It's not. I think it's past what we see now, and it's more on the ears now.
So, yeah, that was episode 1 of Curb Talk. Been good convo. We had to start it right, man. We had to start it right,
man. Big up Curb Talk, man. You don't know.
We had to start it right. We had to kick it off right. But yeah, with that, that's a wrap.
Bless, man.
Wow.
My guy.